Welcome to ECNTRADE Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. The Australian dollar presently still remains in a British tone after the overnight challenge inked in a fresh 2-month high of 65.84. And as we can see from the challenge of 65.80 to 66.10 resistance, we have rejected this region for now. However, still keep your guard on this level because a break above 66.10 would leave me neutral. What is one takeaway I see is that the MACD is flat, although the RSI is presently trying to succumb to further bullish momentum. Therefore, let's see if the market takes the challenge and rejects it, because I feel there is a bull trap above or around this region, and therefore once triggered could see the market turn back to the downside and look towards 65.20 and then lower to 64.70. The euro dollar, as you can see, took the challenge to the upside and got into a little bit of a bother in terms of the level of 109.70.90 was rejected. After hitting a fresh high of 109.75, the dollar index plummeted further since breaking the 100 handle and hit a low of 99.22 before rebounding just slightly. I still view at present that towards this level should take a gain and struggle, and therefore could see a rejection and look back towards the downside of 108.85. It is from there a break would reinstate the downside to 108.30.35. So let's see if the market does take the challenge to the top side, fail, and then look back to the downside and reassess from around 108.85 or maybe down towards, as I mentioned, to around 108.30 to 45. The dollar yen took the challenge also to the upside, along with the fact that the US dollar is still slightly on a British tone. I feel there is a bull trap possibly laying around that 108.15.25 level after briefly seeing an intraday high of 108.08. Therefore, I do expect to see a rejection from here and could see the market drop back towards the region of 107.45 and then lower to 106.80. With the British pound continuing its trek to the upside since rebounding off the level of 120.60 has put me in a neutral view, and therefore I'd rather wait for better opportunities, and that could be seen around 124 before shortening the market. Later today we do have the Bank of England, Andrew Bailey speaking. That is at 11:30 p.m. tonight. Let's see if the market gets a little bit jittery in terms of the fact that we did recently have chief economist at the Bank of England, Andrew Haldane, who was a little bit more to the dovish side and could see rates lower. Therefore, I do feel the pound will be under a little bit more pressure. Looking at dollar CAD, as you can see, the market took the challenge to the downside of 138.50, 70 area, and printed a low of 65. Now, I did warn the fact that we could see a rebound, and we have, but we're not seeing that rebound continue. More like what's been known as a dead cat bounce, and therefore could see a further challenge towards 138.50.70. A break beneath there would give further exposure to the downside, maybe down towards the region of 136. Well, the gold is still relatively holding to a bullish case since the rebound of 1,726. That was the low the previous day, and from that rebound could see a few more tests to the upside, coming in at 52 to 56, or maybe even towards that 66.73 where we saw a rejection. The trend is still there with the ADX and still holding to a bullish sentiment with the RSI and also the MACD, therefore keeps the bullish view intact. Though, beneath 1,726 leaves me neutral. I still feel there is a potential pullback in oil. Not to sell, but to buy. I feel the market has reached the top since the target of $31 a barrel, so therefore I'm looking for a pullback to either $29.40.60 or maybe down to $27.50, and then expect to see the market rally on to $36. Overall, I want to keep my bullish view intact because there is an ADX a little bit overheating and also the RSI a little bit overbought, but the MACD is still strong and therefore warrants a pullback and then take the challenge higher to that $36 and reassess from there. Well, that wraps it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, look out for the intraday report. I hope you enjoyed a great start to this new day.